The sky is alive tonight. Clouds gather in twisting shapes, rolling like waves across the heavens. Thunder hums softly, as if waiting for a voice to answer. Listen closely, and you may hear whispers within the storm. Whispers of a place hidden far above the mortal world. A labyrinth made not of stone, but of lightning and restless winds. Its walls shift with every breath of thunder. Its doors vanish and return with every flash of light. No mortal has walked within it, for no mortal could survive its shifting heart. Yet the gods themselves tremble at its mystery. For this is no ordinary storm. This is a puzzle of the skies, a test wrapped in clouds and fire. And at the center of it all waits something unknown, unseen, unspoken. Zeus, the ruler of the heavens, feels its call, not with anger, nor with fear, but with a deep curiosity. For even the king of Olympus must face questions he cannot answer alone. Tonight, we follow him into the storm, step by step, echo by echo, lightning guiding his way. This is the beginning of the story of Zeus and the labyrinth of storms. The night begins in silence, as if the heavens themselves hold their breath. Stars shimmer faintly, but clouds rise to swallow their gentle light. The air feels charged, alive, restless, as though the sky prepares to speak. Far above the mountains, lightning curls into strange, spiraling patterns. They do not strike the earth, nor scatter across the horizon as storms do. Instead, they weave together, forming shapes too precise to be chance. Mortals below pause in their fields, staring at the heavens in awe. Shepherds hear their flocks grow uneasy, hooves restless upon the grass. Fishermen on the Aegean Sea lower their nets, whispering prayers. For they know the signs. Storms speak in warnings before they strike. Yet this storm is different. It does not roar. It hums like a secret song. Each flash of lightning lingers longer than it should, burning like symbols. Symbols that twist into spirals, into paths, into something resembling doors. Zeus, upon Olympus, stands at the edge of the marble cliffs. He watches with eyes that see more than mortal sight could ever bear. The clouds do not merely gather. They assemble, like pieces of a puzzle. Winds circle tightly, crafting corridors in the very heart of the storm. It is a pattern of intention, not chaos. A storm with purpose. The other gods stir restlessly within their halls. Hera raises her gaze, troubled by the omen in the heavens. Hermes tilts his head, listening for messages carried on the wind. Athena studies the spiral, recognizing wisdom hidden in its form. But none speak aloud what they fear. None but Zeus. This is no storm of chance, he murmurs to the endless sky. Something has awakened, and it calls to me. The storm deepens, a labyrinth of clouds and fire stretching wide. Thunder rolls not in anger, but in rhythm, like footsteps approaching. Mortals kneel, clutching charms, whispering names of gods for safety. Temples glow with offerings, flames flickering in uneasy winds. Still, the heavens remain restless, demanding attention. A hawk circles above Zeus, wings glinting silver in the flashes. The bird cries sharply, as if to mark the storm as sacred ground. Zeus feels the pull within his chest, a tug older than time. It is not fear, but recognition, as if he has seen this before. Perhaps in dreams, perhaps in prophecies too faint to recall. The labyrinth of storms waits, growing clearer with each strike of light. Paths open, then vanish. Shifting with the heartbeat of thunder, the air thickens, heavy with questions no god can easily answer. Why does the sky shape itself into a maze of power? Who or what crafted a puzzle from the very breath of clouds? The omens are not cruel, but they are insistent, unyielding. Every flash declares a message that mortals cannot hear. But Zeus can. He listens, and the whispers find him. They speak not in words, but in echoes of memory and fate. He closes his eyes, letting the storm guide his senses. The labyrinth breathes, alive, shifting in the dark heavens. It waits not to destroy, but to test, to reveal. Zeus knows this is an invitation, written in lightning and air, and he, Lord of the skies, cannot refuse the call. The omen is clear. The journey begins. High above the restless sea, the storm begins to take its truest shape. Clouds stretch and bend, folding into walls that rise like living towers. The air is alive with sound, but not the sound mortals know as thunder. It is softer, layered, like countless voices whispering all at once. Each gust of wind carries secrets, words hidden between the echoes. Some sound like prayers, others like riddles half-formed in the air. Zeus listens carefully, for he alone can hear their meaning. The labyrinth does not roar, it speaks, weaving language from storm. Every turn of the lightning spiral hums like a doorway waiting to open. Each rumble of thunder pulses like a heartbeat guiding the path. Mortals gaze upward, sensing wonder but not its depth or intent. To them, it is a storm. To Zeus, it is a living puzzle. He knows this is no creation of chance, nor simple weather. This is crafted with thought, with purpose, with memory of old. The whispers call his name, carried on the curling winds, not in fear, not in worship, but in invitation. He closes his eyes, and the words grow clearer. They speak of trials, of choices, of balance between storm and calm. They warn that the path shifts with every doubt in the heart. Zeus feels the weight of their meaning, yet he does not turn away. The labyrinth glows faintly, lightning outlining its endless corridors. They stretch far beyond mortal sight, bending like rivers of fire. The more he stares, the more it resembles a place of thought. Not stone, not earth, but a temple built of breath and storm. A temple that tests not the hand, but the spirit within. The voices rise again, stronger, like a chorus unseen. They echo not only in his ears, but in the very air. Each note vibrates against the marble halls of Olympus. Other gods hear faint murmurs, though none as clear as he. Hermes leans closer to the sky, puzzled by the hidden song. Athena frowns, recognizing the rhythm of knowledge disguised as riddles. Hera feels unease, knowing such omens never come without cost. Still, all eyes turn to Zeus, for he alone is called. The labyrinth does not summon the council, only its ruler. Its whispers weave patterns only the Skyfather can fully read. They form questions, though not in mortal tongue. Questions of strength, patience, justice, and the balance of power. Zeus knows this is no threat, but a mirror to his reign. It asks him not to fight, but to listen, to reflect. The storm's walls shimmer like silver curtains drawn tight together. Between them, pathways flicker and vanish, teasing a journey ahead. Every turn carries the hum of hidden meaning. Every flash reveals a message cloaked in light. Zeus breathes deeply, steady, grounding himself in silence. He knows this labyrinth is not meant to be broken. It is meant to be walked, one step, one choice at a time. Already he feels its rhythm aligning with his heart. Already he knows this is not simply a storm. It is a riddle of the heavens, waiting to be solved. The whispers grow softer, fading into the night wind, but their meaning lingers, etched into the sky like fire. The labyrinth waits, patient, vast, alive with secrets, and Zeus, with calm resolve, prepares to enter. For only within its whispers will he find the truth of the storm, the truth of himself, the truth of balance. The labyrinth calls, and the sky listens. The halls of Olympus glow with golden light as the storm swirls above. Columns gleam in the flicker of torches. Though the air feels unsettled, the gods gather, each carrying their own thoughts about the omen. Zeus stands tall, his eyes still fixed on the shifting sky. The labyrinth hums faintly, its whispers drifting even into these halls. Hera is the first to speak, her voice firm, steady, and cautious. This storm is no ordinary test, she warns, her gaze sharp as fire. It grows with intent, and intent always comes with cost. Her words ripple through the room, stirring unease among the immortals. Athena steps forward, her armor gleaming in the torchlight. Her voice is calm, deliberate, carved with wisdom. This is knowledge disguised as storm, she says. A puzzle meant to be solved, not feared. Hermes leans casually against a pillar, his eyes bright with curiosity. He tilts his head, listening to the faint chorus hidden in the winds. The storm speaks, he muses, half to himself, half to the council. It carries riddles, but also directions. Perhaps it guides, not traps. The room stirs, divided between caution and intrigue. Ares frowns, his restlessness visible even in his silence. He senses no battle, no weapon, no clash of strength within the storm. To him, such a challenge feels empty, yet dangerous in its mystery. Demeter lifts her hand, her voice soft, but filled with concern. If this storm feeds on mortal prayers, it cannot be ignored. The earth depends on balance, and the skies must keep it. Her words remind the council of their bond with the mortal world. Without mortals, their temples would stand hollow, their power dim. The whispers of the labyrinth rise again, faint but insistent. They swirl between the gods, tugging at their hearts in different ways. Some hear questions of justice, others hear echoes of time. Each god interprets the storm through their own truth. But all know that Zeus must decide. He raises his hand, and silence falls like a curtain. His voice carries the weight of both command and reflection. The storm calls not to all, but to me alone. I feel its breath, its rhythm, its challenge within my soul. It does not threaten war, nor seek destruction. It demands truth. The council listens, their faces unreadable, caught between fear and respect. Hera steps closer, her voice lower, edged with concern. If you enter, you do so at great risk. Even kings may be tested. Zeus meets her gaze, steady, unshaken. No storm is greater than the sky that bears it, he replies. But wisdom is not claimed by power alone. It must be earned. Athena nods, approval flashing in her eyes. Hermes grins faintly, already eager for the journey to unfold. Ares scowls but says nothing, his silence louder than words. The council disperses slowly, each carrying their own thoughts away. But Zeus lingers, his eyes drawn once more to the heavens. Through the marble arches, he sees the labyrinth pulsing with light. Its corridors shift, alive, as though waiting for his choice. The whispers rise again, clear and strong, naming him alone. Zeus breathes deeply, steadying himself against the weight of destiny. The council has spoken, but the path is his to walk. And the storm above does not wait. It waits for no god, no mortal, no hesitation. It waits only for him. The council fades into silence, their voices echoing faintly behind him. And Zeus, Lord of the skies, prepares to descend. The night deepens as the storm spreads across the heavens like a vast curtain. Olympus trembles, not in fear, but in recognition of what is to come. Zeus steps forward, his figure outlined against flashes of silver fire. He does not summon his thunderbolt, nor call for his eagle's strength. Instead, he carries only silence, a calm steadiness in his stride. The path ahead is not of conquest, but of listening. Every god knows this, though none speak as he departs the halls. Hera watches with unease, her eyes sharp with unspoken warning. Athena bows her head slightly, trusting wisdom will guide his way. Hermes smiles faintly, though even his heart holds questions. Zeus moves beyond marble pillars, leaving Olympus behind. The air thickens as he approaches the storm's swirling edge. The labyrinth towers above the horizon, vast, alive, unyielding. Its walls are not solid, but curtains of cloud and streaks of flame. Each pulse of lightning reveals passages that shift with the wind. To mortals, it is chaos. To Zeus, it is invitation. He steps closer, and the whispers surge stronger in the air. They do not scream. They murmur, weaving riddles through the gale. Some voices sound like mortals praying, fragile and distant. Others echo like gods long forgotten, fading yet insistent. The storm does not open all at once. Instead, it waits, measuring the weight of his presence. Zeus places one foot forward, and the path unfolds. Clouds part, lightning burns, and a corridor appears. It does not promise safety, nor danger, only mystery. The air tastes of salt and fire, both heavy and pure. Every breath feels like standing between worlds, sky and sea. The labyrinth shifts as if acknowledging his choice to enter. Its doors shimmer, vanishing behind him, closing Olympus away. There is no turning back. The whispers soften now, less frantic, almost guiding. They lead him deeper, their rhythm echoing with his heartbeat. Every step he takes reshapes the walls, moving like living mist. Arches form above, glowing with lightning veins that pulse like stars. Symbols appear briefly, etched into the clouds, then fade again. They seem like letters of an ancient tongue, older than Olympus. Zeus studies them, but their meaning slips away like smoke. This is not a test of knowledge alone. It is a test of patience, of trust in what cannot be grasped. The corridors twist, closing, then opening in strange directions. Every turn feels both endless and immediate, as if time bends. The whispers return, no longer scattered, but harmonized. They chant softly, carrying words hidden between echoes, not by might, not by fear. The path opens to calm. Zeus listens. He slows his steps, letting silence guide him. The walls brighten, expanding as he steadies his breath. The labyrinth responds, granting clearer passages ahead. He realizes the storm is alive, listening to his choices. Every doubt narrows the way. Every calm widens it. The path is not conquered. It is walked with balance. Zeus feels the truth settling within him. This is not a battle to be won. It is a dialogue with the sky itself. The labyrinth grows vast again, shifting into new shape. Ahead lies deeper mystery. Chambers waiting with their own trials. But for now, Zeus has entered, and the storm has accepted him. The descent is complete. The journey has begun. The corridors narrow, then expand, twisting as if alive beneath Zeus's feet. Lightning guides his steps, yet silence grows deeper with every turn. The whispers that once surrounded him now fade into a strange stillness. The storm does not vanish. It listens, waiting, like breath before a word. Zeus moves carefully, steady, each stride echoing against walls of cloud. The sound multiplies, bouncing back until it feels like voices surround him. He stops, realizing the echoes are not his alone. They grow stronger, layered, countless, weaving into a chorus of need. Prayers rise within the storm, not spoken here, but carried from earth. The voices of mortals fill the air, fragile yet unbroken. A mother pleads for rain to bless her barren field. A sailor begs the sea to calm its hunger for his ship. A child whispers a name of a god for comfort in the night. Every voice trembles, but none are lost. They form the labyrinth itself. Zeus closes his eyes, listening with the weight of eternity on his chest. The chamber around him glows, walls shifting into shimmering waves of sound. Each prayer becomes light, each echo a thread in the storm's design. He hears joy, too. Not only fear, songs of harvest, songs of birth. Gratitude lingers in the air, as strong as pleas for mercy. The labyrinth does not seek to frighten. It seeks to remind. Here, within this chamber, the voices of mortals are eternal. They do not vanish when prayers are answered or denied. They remain, shaping the storm, weaving the endless path ahead. Zeus breathes slowly, his heart steady, his mind attuned. He realizes the labyrinth is built not of clouds, but of memory. Every echo is a thread, binding gods and mortals together. Without them, Olympus would rise hollow, its halls cold and silent. The voices swirl faster, echoing his thoughts with uncanny rhythm. Some seem to question him, pressing on choices of the past. Others sound like praise, carrying faith that never waver. The storm balances them, never louder in one than the other. Justice and mercy, power and care, strength and patience all woven here. Zeus speaks at last, his voice calm yet resonant in the chamber. I hear you, every word, every silence between your words. The echoes shift, rippling like water struck by stone. The prayers respond, not as individuals, but as a living whole. Zeus feels the chamber opening, a doorway forming in the glow. but he does not step through yet. Instead, he lingers, honoring the voices by listening longer. For each prayer is not a demand, but a fragment of life. Together, they form the labyrinth, both trial and truth. The storm hums softly now, no longer sharp, but like a lullaby. The chamber rests, satisfied with his stillness, his willingness to hear. Zeus bows his head briefly, not in surrender, but in respect. When he raises it again, the path ahead shines clearer. The labyrinth has opened the next corridor. Trusting his steps, he walks forward, his stride measured. Carrying the voices with him, they linger in his heart, steady as thunder, light as rain. The chamber of echoes fades, but its truth does not. For the prayers of mortals are never lost. They remain eternal, guiding even the king of the skies. And Zeus, wiser now, carries them deeper into the storm. The air thickens as Zeus enters the next chamber of the labyrinth. Lightning dims, leaving only pale glows pulsing along the walls. The space feels vast, though no ceiling or floor can be seen. Mist rises, swirling into patterns that shift like restless dreams. In the center floats a surface, still and luminous as glass. Zeus approaches, his steps slow, his breath steady, unyielding. The whispers do not return. Silence reigns with heavy intent. This is not the chamber of voices. It is one of reflection. The mirror stirs, rippling like water, yet unbroken by touch. Zeus gazes upon it and finds not his face, but storms. Clouds roll within the glass, thunder echoing faintly inside. Every bolt of lightning reveals shadows, echoes of himself. Not the king of Olympus, but versions shaped by choices unseen. A Zeus who rages, unhearing of prayers below. A Zeus who withdraws, leaving Olympus to drift without guidance. A Zeus who seeks only power, thrones rising but hearts abandoned. Each image flashes, then vanishes, replaced by another. The storm mirror shows not what is, but what could be. It is not judgment, it is possibility, laid bare and endless. Zeus stands firm, though the weight of visions presses against him. The labyrinth asks no question, yet demands silent understanding. Every leader carries countless shadows of choice behind him. Every path divides into roads unseen, each shaping storms ahead. Zeus lifts his hand, touching the mirror's trembling surface. It ripples, then clears, revealing something new. This time it is not himself, but mortals gazing upward. A farmer kneels, his brow damp with rain of gratitude. A sailor laughs as winds shift, guiding him to safe shores. A child smiles, clutching bread shared by a neighbor's kindness. These images glow warmer, steady, not born of fear. They are not shadows, they are anchors of faith. The mirror balances them with the darker visions. Neither denies the other, for both are truth. Zeus exhales, calm, his voice low but certain. I am not only what storms reveal, I am what storms carry. The mirror shudders, lightning scattering across its surface. It splits, forming two paths within its glowing frame. One path is jagged, wild, crackling with relentless power. The other is soft, flowing, glowing like dawn through clouds. Both lead deeper, neither marked as right or wrong. Zeus pauses, listening inward, not outward, for guidance. The chamber waits, patient, unmoving, infinite in its stillness. Finally, he steps not toward one, but between them. The mirror reshapes, merging both paths into one steady road. Balance, not extremes, opens the way forward. The storm responds, walls brightening with gentle pulses of light. The labyrinth recognizes the choice, granting passage. Zeus continues, his stride firm, carrying both power and peace. Behind him, the mirror fades, its lesson complete, but its truth lingers. Storms do not define, they reveal. Every reflection is both warning and guide, both shadow and flame. The chamber closes, folding back into mist and silence. The labyrinth expands again, corridors rising with new mystery. Zeus walks onward, calmer now, yet sharpened by clarity. The mirror of storms has shown him what lies within, and he carries its wisdom deeper into the heart of the storm. The labyrinth breathes as Zeus steps forward into another vast chamber. The air cools, carrying the sin of rain long since fallen. Before him stretches a river, wide and shimmering with silver light. It does not flow swiftly, but drifts slowly, as if reluctant. The water carries reflections, yet not of the chamber around it. Instead, it shows moments, flickers of lives already lived. A shepherd guiding his flock beneath dawn's first light. A queen writing a decree, her hand trembling with doubt. A young boy racing through fields, laughter echoing against the sky. Each vision shimmers, floats, then drifts away downstream. This is not a river of water. It is a river of time. Zeus kneels, watching the flow, his face calm but intent. The current does not show future or present, only the past. Every life carried here is etched into the storm's memory. The labyrinth holds not only prayers and mirrors, but history itself. The whispers return, softer, woven into the rush of the stream. They speak not of demands, but of remembrance. Every mortal's step upon the earth leaves ripples here. No act is too small, no life too brief. Zeus dips his hand into the current. The water feels neither wet nor cold, but heavy with meaning. Images rise from his touch, stories unwinding across the surface. A soldier lays down his sword, choosing peace over glory. An elder comforts a child with tales of old gods. A builder sets stone upon stone, raising a temple skyward. The river swells, carrying more, its voice deepening. Zeus listens, each story settling into him like rainfall. He realizes this is not only the mortal's memory, it is Olympus's memory too, shaped by every choice given. Gods and mortals weave the same river, though unaware of it. The labyrinth reveals it so neither may forget. The current shifts, revealing not mortals, but Olympus itself. Zeus sees himself younger, fierce, raising thunder against titans. He sees Hera's steady hand guiding fractured councils. He sees Athena's wisdom, Hermes' cunning, Apollo's light. Every god leaves ripples, carried no less than mortals. The river does not honor only one, it holds all. Zeus straightens, breath deep, his voice quiet, but strong. Time carries us, yet we shape it with each step. The river responds, glowing brighter, widening, as if in ascent. A bridge of light forms, arcing gently across the current. It is not forced, but offered, awaiting his choice to cross. Zeus places his foot upon it, the glow steady beneath him. He walks slowly, each step ringing like thunder, softened by rain. The visions flow beneath, endless, uncountable, unbroken. They are not a burden, but a reminder of connection. Each soul matters. Each act lingers. Each choice threads the storm. When Zeus reaches the far side, the bridge dissolves behind him. The river fades, receding into mist. Its lesson complete, but its truth remains with him, pulsing steady in his chest. The labyrinth does not test with force, but with remembrance. Not all storms rage. Some flow, like rivers through eternity. Zeus walks onward, carrying time's weight not as chain, but as gift. The chamber closes, and the labyrinth breathes once more. Ahead lies deeper mystery, but his heart beats steadier. For he has crossed the river of time, and it has crossed him. The storm softens as Zeus steps into a chamber unlike the rest. Here the air is calm, filled with a scent of fresh earth. No lightning arcs, no thunder growls, only silence, deep as dawn. Before him stretches a vast garden, glowing faintly in the mist. Trees shimmer with silver leaves, swaying gently without wind. Flowers bloom in hues unknown to mortals, their petals like starlight. The ground is soft, covered with moss that hums with quiet life. Zeus pauses, feeling the strangeness of peace within the storm. The labyrinth no longer tests with echoes or visions of time. Instead, it offers stillness, asking nothing but presence. A path winds through the garden, narrow, yet welcoming. He follows it, listening not with ears, but with spirit. The silence grows fuller, layered, alive with hidden meaning. It is not emptiness. It is a space that holds all things. Every tree, every flower, every stone hums with quiet harmony. Zeus touches a branch, and the leaves glow faintly brighter. They do not burn. They do not tremble. They simply shine. The garden speaks not in words, but in balance. Here, storms rest, finding rhythm in their own stillness. Zeus realizes this chamber does not seek to test. It seeks to remind him of calm, the root of all storms. Without stillness, thunder loses its clarity. Without pause, lightning blinds instead of guiding. The garden is the heart of silence within the storm. Zeus walks deeper, passing pools of water clear as glass. They reflect not images, but feelings: calm, patience, quiet strength. He kneels beside one pool, gazing into its depth. The water ripples, yet not from wind or hand. It moves with his breath, steady and slow. The labyrinth listens not only to choice, but to presence. Zeus exhales, letting tension leave his chest. For the first time, he feels lighter within the storm. The path curves toward a tree larger than the rest. Its trunk glows gold, its branches reaching across the chamber. At its base lies a stone etched with faint markings. The symbols are older than Olympus, older than Titan's song. Zeus cannot read them, yet he feels their meaning. They speak of balance, of silence that holds thunder's strength. The storm does not rage forever. It must also rest. Zeus places his hand upon the stone. The garden responds, blossoms opening wider, leaves glowing brighter. A breeze stirs for the first time, gentle, carrying peace. The labyrinth acknowledges his stillness, not his power. For storms are not endless force, they are rhythm, rise and fall. Zeus bows his head, not in defeat, but in respect. When he lifts it, the garden shifts, revealing a doorway. It glows with soft light, like dawn breaking after endless night. He steps forward, leaving the stillness but carrying it within. The chamber fades, yet its peace lingers like a heartbeat. The labyrinth breathes again, its corridors reshaping around him. Thunder rumbles faintly in the distance, no longer harsh. It echoes with calm, softened by what he has learned. Zeus walks on, no longer only a bearer of storms. He is also a keeper of silence, a guardian of stillness. The Garden of Stillness has given him balance, and with it, he steps deeper into the labyrinth's heart. The labyrinth darkens as Zeus enters a chamber vast and hollow. The silence here is different, not peace, but a weight unspoken. Walls stretch high, flickering with shadows that move without source. They shift and twist, forming shapes familiar yet haunting. Zeus steps forward, and the shadows gather around him. They do not attack, nor whisper, they simply mirror. Each shadow takes form, and he recognizes them. These are not monsters. They are echoes of his own past. A shadow Zeus with eyes fierce, hand clutched tight around thunder. Another with back turned, distant, refusing the cries of mortals. Another towering high, proud, carrying power but no compassion. Each shadow carries a piece of him, fractured and incomplete. The chamber hums, pressing him to face what lingers within. This is not punishment. It is remembrance. Every choice leaves shadows as much as light. Zeus steadies his breath, watching the figures circle. They do not move closer. They wait, patient. The labyrinth asks not for denial, but for recognition. Zeus raises his voice, calm, yet strong, echoing across the hall. You are part of me, but you are not all of me. The shadows ripple, shifting, some fading, others lingering. They do not vanish, for they cannot. Shadows are born of light, and both must coexist. One shadow steps closer, darker, heavier than the rest. It is silent, but its presence is sharp, unyielding. Zeus knows this figure. It is his greatest fear. Not defeat, not loss, but indifference. A Zeus who no longer listens, no longer cares. A god unmoved by prayer, detached from mortal lives. That shadow towers larger, swallowing the chamber in its shape. The labyrinth waits, holding breath within its walls. Zeus steps forward, his voice steady, though the weight is heavy. I will not be you, but I will not deny you. The shadow stills, trembling, then softens into mist. It does not vanish, but it no longer looms. The chamber lightens faintly, walls glowing with hidden veins of fire. The labyrinth accepts his choice, acknowledgement, not denial. Zeus bows his head briefly, not in surrender, but in clarity. The remaining shadows settle into the walls, quiet and at peace. They are part of him, yet no longer chains. The hall opens, revealing a passage of faint silver glow. Zeus walks toward it, calmer, bearing both shadow and light. For storms do not only bring brightness, they carry darkness too, and only in balance can thunder truly guide. The hall of shadows fades behind him, vast yet silent. The labyrinth breathes, shifting, preparing its final trial. Zeus walks onward, heart steady, eyes sharp with new sight. The shadows have not left him, but he walks with them. They are no longer enemies, but companions of truth. The chamber closes, and the path deepens. Ahead lies the heart of the labyrinth, the storm's core. And Zeus, carrying echoes, stillness, time, and shadow, moves closer. The corridors narrow, their walls alive with steady pulses of light. Each step Zeus takes echoes as if the labyrinth itself listens. The air thickens, humming with a rhythm both calm and fierce. At last, the path opens into a chamber vast and endless. Here, the storm waits not outside, but contained within the heart. Lightning arcs above in silence, frozen in perfect spirals. Thunder rumbles beneath, slow and steady, like a heartbeat. Zeus stands at the center, surrounded by the storm entire. This is not chaos. This is the core of balance. The labyrinth has led him through echoes, stillness, shadow, and time. Each lesson has brought him here, where storm and silence meet. The chamber does not test, it reveals. Zeus lifts his gaze, watching lightning that bends but never strikes. Each arc bends around him, weaving patterns in the air. The storm is not against him. It has always been his. But only now does he see its true form, harmony. He breathes deeply, letting the thunder match his heartbeat. Each exhale softens the lightning's glow. Each inhale strengthens it. The storm responds, no longer wild, but attuned to his presence. He steps forward, and the chamber shifts like a living sky. Clouds gather, yet no rain falls, only silver mist. From that mist rises a figure, vast, without form or face. It is the storm itself, shaped by his journey. Not enemy, not ally, but reflection. The figure tilts, as though listening without words. Zeus speaks, voice steady, carrying the weight of all chambers. I am not only thunder. I am not only silence. I am both. The figure hums, and lightning spirals closer, wrapping like a crown. The labyrinth quakes, not in anger, but in recognition. The storm bows, folding into him like a returning tide. Energy flows through his chest, neither heavy nor consuming. It is rhythm, the rise and fall of all things. Zeus feels the balance, light and shadow, sound and silence. The storm is not mastered. It is joined. He does not hold it as a weapon, but as a song. The chamber brightens, lightning dissolving into soft golden light. The walls stretch, then fade, revealing an open sky. For the first time, Zeus stands beneath stars inside the labyrinth. The storm is gone, yet he hears it within. It beats steady, like the pulse of the cosmos. The labyrinth whispers in its silence, "You have arrived." The trials were not to conquer, but to remember. Zeus is not only a god of storms, he is keeper of balance, bearer of silence, guardian of rhythm. The chamber fades completely, leaving only starlight and calm. The labyrinth no longer confines, no longer twists or tests. It opens, dissolving into air, freeing him from its hold. Zeus stands tall, changed, not in power, but in understanding. The storm belongs not to him alone, but to all who live. It is the breath of the world, the cycle of rise and fall. He bows his head, not to the labyrinth, but to balance itself. And with that, the journey through the labyrinth of storms ends. Yet its lessons linger, carried forever in thunder and silence.